you ever looked at a pattern and thought, oh, some of those elements look a little bit tricky and I wish somebody was here to hold my hand through the steps? Or were you just thinking you want to get a little bit social? Well, today's episode is perfect for you. Hey, so this is Editing Lex here, and I just thought I wanted to make it clear that today's episode is a little bit longer than normal. So there is a fairly big chunk of this episode that actually has me sewing in it. So if you kind of want to skip through and not really like see stuff like that, then I will pop a time right here for you guys to skip forward to and see the end result. But otherwise, please stay tuned for me sewing. Hello lovelies. So the other day I was looking through Facebook and, well, I don't do this often, I came across a new Facebook group. Well, it's not overly new as such, it's new to me. And I'm very excited to show it to you. It is called the Sew Along with Peony Patterns. Now, Peony Patterns isn't new to me either. I have got their poppy dress and their sage dress, which I absolutely love. Haven't made the sage dress yet, but I have made quite a few of the poppies. Now, on this page or on this group, they have sew-alongs, obviously. Once a month, they'll put up a post and ask what the group are thinking that they would like for the next sew-along. Then once the pattern has been chosen, they will create a discount code, and that is an exclusive discount code to the group, and it is often on older patterns. So even if there is a new pattern out, you may find that you can get an older pattern that you might have had your eye on still with a discount. So they will also set the date, and then Ashley, one of my fellow Aussies, will then create some short videos. Now the competition, and I will call it a competition because there are some prizes, but I'll explain that in a minute. The competition essentially goes for, or the sew along goes for about 7 days. So this month's sew along was the Myrtle, and I will show you the schedule for that. I'll pop it on the screen for you, but I do have it here. So day 1 is print the pattern, measure the child, cut the pattern, and any other optional prep, which optional prep is usually the washing of the fabric, which I totally forgot. But anyway, I am on day 3 and it has been a little bit hectic around here. That'll all be revealed very shortly. There's some exciting things coming. But with day 1, I was a little bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be a little bit more newbie friendly, not necessarily beginner friendly, but newbie friendly, because I thought that Ashley might have explained and shown her actually printing and cutting out the pattern, like sticking the pattern together, and then, or even using a projector, because I've never used a projector and I think that would be really handy to see someone actually using that, and then actually cutting the pattern out. Like, I would have loved to have seen if she used scissors or if she uses a rotary, because I know I use a rotary cutter. Then the measuring of the child. Now that would have been really handy to have seen some maybe tips and tricks, because it is not an easy process, as you will see. But at the end of the day, it is called a sew along, so they do show quite in depth the sewing part. Oh, and before I forget, of course, I did say it is a bit of a competition. So they do have prizes at the end of it. Now, it's not a competition where you are judged on your final product. You are just put into a random draw and they will draw your name out, hopefully. And it is per person, not per garment. So you may make a few garments in one sew along, but it is only one entry. All you actually need to do is upload a picture of each step that you've done. So day 1 is all of your prep being done, so all your pattern being cut out and all that. And day 2 being the bodice constructed. Day 3, I believe, is the sleeves. Day 4 is the skirt. Day 5 is attaching the skirt. Day 6 is the catch-up day. So any of those days that you have missed, you can simply have a catch-up day, or you might just want to have a rest day if you are speedy. And then of course day 7 is the final reveal of your finished garment, and there is a separate album that you put your photo up for that one. Day 8 is when the winners will be drawn as well. All right, that's it for the housekeeping. Why don't you go grab yourself a cuppa and join me in the sewing room. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Which one? Which one do you like? What's that? Mushrooms. Hedgehogs. Hedgehogs. Or whimsical kaleidoscope. Flower. Yep. Which one? Hedgehog. Mushrooms. Flowers. Purple or blue? Which one? Purple. Good job. Flower. Which one do you want? Which one? That one. You like that one? We go that. Oh. Hedgehogs. You want the hedgehogs? Okay, we'll go hedgehogs then. Yeah? And this one? We'll go the 2? These 2?
Yeah.
You do like that one though too, don't you? So is it that one? Are we going with this one then? Yes? Okay. Alright, so according to these measurements, chest is 59 centimeters, so I would go a size 2 at 50.8 centimeters. Height, Lilah is only 78 centimeters and the height in here is 88 centimeters. So I'm going to do the mini version, so hopefully it's a decent, like it's not too long for her. And I have found that in the other peony patterns that I do, that I tend to do the mini because it's just hits her just nicely. I'm sorry about the noise in the background, that is my washing machine. All right, waist is 50 centimeters, her waist is 46 centimeters, so it will have plenty of room. Size 1, she would fit in a waist, but not around chest. So I'm glad I'm doing the size 2. And then finished vintage length would be 47.3 centimeters. Mini will be 44. So I think that'll be perfect for her. I can just double check it on her where it hits her in the knees. What is going on out here? Oh, you've got it. Right. Okay, so I'm glad I printed out the size 2. I will pop that all together and then cut out my thing. All right, let's do this. I've cut my pattern pieces out in terms of the paper part. And now I'm going to cut it out in my fabric. So I thought I'd just quickly show you my beautiful fabric. I really apologize for my appearance today. I just needed to get this done today, so it is what it is, all right? So first I have my main fabric. I think this is so beautiful, this fabric. It is directional, so I don't actually know if I'm gonna get all of my pattern pieces out of this. That's my only concern, so I might end up having to, I don't know, to tweak. We'll see how we go. Anyway, so it's like a browny orange, very like 70s feel. It's beautiful sunflowers that are in like a bit more of a fawny color, and then the middles are a bit more of a mustard color. I think it's really cool. I really actually struggled to find a fabric in my stash because I didn't want to go and buy more fabric. But I found it really tough to find a fabric that was coordinating with it, didn't clash with it too much, or just didn't go at all. I actually found this. This is a very similar sort of color. There's like tiny little leaves. I don't know if you can see that. Tiny little leaves in this that are like a fawn color that actually are very similar to the main color in the main fabric. So this will be lining. That will be my main. It does have a little bit more oranges and stuff in it, but it does have blue in it, which is a bit odd, I know, but because it's kind of got the oranges in it, I think it's gonna work. So there's that. And then I thought, well, okay, look at them together. They're not too bad. Like, look, it's not something that I would be like, yes, definitely straight away. I actually had like an orange gingham that I reckon would have possibly gone with this, but I don't know where it is. I think I may have gotten rid of it, and I don't know if I would have had enough of it anyway. Anyway, this is out of my stash, and it does have a little stain on it here. It's from my nana, believe it or not. So it's quite an old piece of fabric, but I think I've got perfect amount for the lining. So that is what that is. Let's get into the cutting. is it for me for the sewing. Do you want to see the final result? I think it came out pretty cute. Here it is. Oh, look at those gorgeous puffy sleeves. I think they're just so pretty. Oh, I am so, well, if you can't tell, I'm very excited about the end result, because this dress is certainly not something that I first looked at and went, oh, I'm gonna make that. And here's why. Let me tell you why. Actually, no, sorry. Let's talk about the dress first and then I'll tell you the reasons why, okay? So, Dizzy Daisy fabric with the beautiful sunflowers in this beautiful brownie, vintagey kind of color, and the beautiful Nana Stash lining. I love the sleeves. I love this puff. And I haven't, so it is an open back, so it's fully functionable. You can't, well, I suppose you could do it so that it's not functionable, but it would be really, really hard to get on, I think, the child, just depending on your child, I suppose. But I am going to put buttons on this, and you would have seen that in the whole sewing part, that I have the buttons chosen. I just don't have I don't have my button foot at the moment. It's packed away, so I have to try and rummage through and grab it. So, but that just can't happen at the moment, so it's just not a complete piece. Anyway, I actually technically didn't go in the running for the competition because I technically haven't finished it, and I was quite late. I was, I think, 2 or 3. I think I was 2 days late. But that's the beauty of this sew along, is the fact that you can go back at any stage and have a look at any of the videos that they've put up previously. Okay, let's talk about why I'm happy with, hello. Yes, hello. Excuse me, you're in my shot. Off you go. Come on, off you go. Okay, let's talk about why, no, off you go. Why I love this sew along idea, and more so than just on the, like on YouTube or anything like that as well. I'm just gonna put it down, otherwise I'm gonna keep flinging it around. Okay, so the sew along itself was really, really social. Like I said at the very start of this, if you want to get social, this is the perfect way, because even though I wasn't participating in it every day and like consistently, I still was on that Facebook group all the time. I was looking at other people's inspirations. I was looking at other people's mistakes. I was just loving having chats with other people, really, and just getting more information and all of that sort of thing. So that was a really big thing for me. I really, really enjoyed it. Second of all, I looked at this pattern and thought, no way, I will never be able to do this. There is a variation that I have seen on the website, on the Peony Patterns website, on this pattern's, you know, tester photos, right? Where people have done a more organza puff sleeve, so you can see through it, or even the skirt as well. And I think that is so beautiful. But when I first looked at that, I was like, nah, I can't achieve that. That's far too advanced for me. Since doing this sew along, I actually am really, really excited to make something like that. Probably not in the near future, unfortunately, because I just don't have the time, because I have so many things that I want to sew, but that's a whole nother vlog. But I honestly feel like because I have done this sew along, I have so much more confidence in myself, and I have so many more ideas, which is kind of dangerous. But I have the pattern now, and I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Anyway, the puff sleeve, if you don't like gathering, man, you know, you just gotta hang in there. That's the other thing too with the sew along, is that Ashley breaks down each step beautifully. Like, the fact that we did the construction of the bodice and then we did all of the gathering, all the gathering of the sleeves and putting all the sleeve and stuff together, which was a huge task, can I say. The sleeves are quite a big, bulky, not literally, like, but not, and not physically, but like it's a big chunk of the pattern. So you want to get that right for starters, and you just need that time. So the fact that they broke it down into that one piece, I thought was absolutely genius, because I was behind, I thought, I'll just continue. I'll just keep doing the sleeves. I kind of got to it. I looked at it and I went, nah, my brain is done. I need to rest. I need to rest for the day. So I did. I rested and got back into it, I think the next day or so. And it made such a difference because it actually made it enjoyable, and I learnt some stuff from it as well. There's a few things like I probably would have done a little bit more overlocking of some of my edges, just because I know the fabric that I'm working with is a little bit more, has a bit more of a tendency to fray than maybe some others, but that's because I've worked with it before. Other than that, I think that was really my only thing, and that's kind of what I've always thought when I have done peony patterns anyway. There's certain steps, extra steps that I would take just because I know the fabric will fray. Still really good though, like they still tell you where to overlock in certain spots, like the armholes. Like that is a definite no-brainer to overlock your armholes once they're finished, that's for sure. I used my pinking shears around the neckline too, which made such a difference, I think. The other thing I love too is that Ashley always tells you the seam allowances that you're needing to do for each of the steps, which I found that really handy. Honestly, if you have been thinking about doing a sew along, I would highly recommend the Sew Along with Peony Patterns Facebook group. Go back, have a look at some old ones, even if you just want a bit of a gauge as well, or just simply jump in for next month's. I cannot wait to see what they do next. I think this is going to be a little bit of a monthly thing for me. Don't worry, I'm not going to do a monthly like video for you guys to just watch me doing my thing. You know, that's a bit much, I think. We'll see. The idea of it sounds appealing, but then the timeline, you know, mum life, you know. Oh, the only other thing too was I probably would have put a piece of interfacing in both sides of my fabric for the buttonholes, especially if I was doing the snaps. I find my snaps, for some reason, even though I use good cam snaps, they seem to always snag my fabric, and they don't work for me for some reason. I don't know why. I am working on trying to make them better, but I would recommend putting maybe in a little, just, okay, my recommendation actually is just know your fabric that you're about to use. Don't just assume that, you know, that Ashley is going to know what you're using, because of course she's not going to know. Having said that, you can ask Ashley anything, because she is there all the time in the group throughout the sew along. So make sure you go in there and ask questions if you do have a question. I can't wait to put this on Lilah. I haven't put it on her yet, so I don't know what the fit is like. I'm hoping that it's perfect. I think it should be. By looking at it, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed today, and if you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, and why not hit the notification bell too, because that is how you will know when I'm uploading, because unfortunately, as much as I want to be uploading every week, I am uploading every second week, but then sometimes I am a little bit late. So by hitting that notification bell, you are given notifications of when I actually upload. And again, I hope you enjoyed this random kind of chat so long video. If like you have any questions or any comments whatsoever, if you didn't like it, I mean, come on, give me a comment down below. Constructive criticism is what I am all about. Constructive though, all right? And that's it from me. I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna go and watch some Outlander because I am rewatching the series and I'm loving it, and Lila's just gone to bed, so maybe I can get an extra episode in. So that's me for today. I do have a few little things up my sleeve, but look, I don't know when I'm gonna upload, so there's no point. I'm just gonna say see you later, till next time. Have a great one.